Let me open over here on my mobile so I can see the lovely comments that all of you so graciously put. The thumbnail looks great. Vani made this new thumbnail and we have a new design. Cool. मैंने ये बंद कर लेते हैं. Let's go live. वाह मुझे notification आया गया. Watch live afterboards. Cool. Hello Mligya. Hello Deepak. Hello Shivam. We will be having more live sessions after your board exams are over, but until then, for people who are still studying, especially our students who are being consistent during the board exam period, they're not letting go of their IPMAT-Level, they're not compromising on that. Thoda sa question ho, 10 questions or 15 questions or even 20 questions of IPMAT-Level. It is going to be a game changer because you will have some amount of revision done and you won't be completely new when your board exams get over. You have a lot of days in between your commerce board exams. I know for a fact you don't take 10 days to revise business studies, right, Vani? How many days did you take for this?
I had COVID.
Yes, and board exams got cancelled. Anyways, let's not put...
That was a sad day.
Yes. What's that word? Ki namak mat dalo in the injury or something. Anyways. ठीक है.
Jale pe namak mat chhidko.
Yes. All right. Hi Abhinav, hi Nikhil, hi Vatsal, hi Arsh, hi Dhruvi, hi Scotch Gamers, hi Shardul, hi Phyllis. Yes, complete your exams and we'll open up some internship positions. 3 days ही है GS PST में. ठीक है, कोई तो एग्जाम था ना किसमें 7-8 days था. Point.
Economics.
Yes, thank you. Point being time है, don't waste it. Economics आज हुआ. So how was exam? First ये पूछना है मुझे सबसे एक बार poll डाल देते हैं. Start a poll. How was economics paper? Great.
I'm hoping it was better than math.
बाहर. ठीक है.
PST takes 1 day, true.
अरे एवरीवन सेज डोंट आस्क दिस. अरे कोई भी पेपर के बारे में बात नहीं करना है तो ठीक है अब करते हैं बात थोड़ा IPMAT के बारे में अबाउट व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन आफ्टरबोर्ड्स एंड इसलिए ये कंपनी का नाम भी आफ्टरबोर्ड्स था. अरे जीनियस, थैंक यू वानी. ओके
should we tell them how we came up with afterboards? Maybe we should wait for people to join.
नहीं, I think we have 100 people now. Let's get started.
Okay. Yeah, so let's get started, I guess.
All right. So now let us talk about all the exams, especially for commerce students. And that is for commerce entrance exams. Right? अच्छे से दिख रहा है हमारा screen? Yes, दिख रहा है. Now within this, a lot of people are aiming for the top tier IIMs, which come through IPMAT. At the same time, you also have CUET, just say you go to DUs, and a lot of amazing colleges are over there. Now, we also have more colleges. Let me copy ye wala screenshot where we had different entrance exams and their costs. And let's take the next page also. Right? So Vani, the biggest mistake someone can do is apply to only one college. Shed some light on this.
I mean, the best example is you. I remember not only were you opposed to applying to other colleges, you were also opposed to applying to college in general. I think it was like a team effort for everyone to go like, no, you should apply. Take IPMAT seriously because at that point you were also very interested to go to Delhi. And it was literally like, I was applying for Ranchi and I went like, no, you should also apply for Ranchi. Like, just do it. What's the problem? And I was like, हाँ ठीक है कर लेते हैं. And that worked out very well. So and for me also, like I was dumb, like in my first attempt, I didn't apply to any other private college. I didn't apply to colleges like NFSU. And in hindsight, it's like I should have, because it would have definitely helped me think from a wider perspective, because now I was limited to just like taking a drop, right? So I think it's very important. And of course, there's a huge factor for some people when it comes to cost, because we understand that it's not something which can be converted into a reality for many of you, which is why for you guys, it should be like you should apply to the maximum colleges that you can if you can't apply to all. But yeah, definitely, like, there's no harm in attempting another exam, even if you're not 100% serious about it. We've heard experiences when people give CAT, we've heard experiences of them doing decent in CAT, but doing better in XAT because they were more calm. It was not romanticized for them. So you will always be at an advantage by applying to all the colleges that you can, than just applying to IIM Indore and then being left with the only option, which is taking a drop here.
And
So yeah,
yes,
that's my 2 cents.
now, what other colleges to apply? Apart from the IIMs, you will need to apply to different colleges that accept your IPMAT Indore score. क्योंकि एक ही एग्जाम से मल्टीपल कॉलेज हो जाता है, so why not, right? So Ranchi हुआ, नालसाल हुआ, IIFT हुआ, IIFT का form came out recently, Nilma, Tapmi. All these colleges are decent colleges, good colleges, through which you can get admission via IPMAT Indore.
And you need to realize that just applying for a college does not mean that you actually have to go there.
हाँ.
That is a decision that you can make 3 months down the line, because right now, like, you can't know for certain how things are going to be 3 months down the line, right? So it's like, don't force, like, when you're applying to a college, don't think, oh, will I go to this college or not? Will I be happy at this college or not? That's not to think for now. That's to think for a later point of time. Abhi, the only thing is ki, okay, these are colleges exist. Like, I'm someone who personally didn't want to go to many of the private colleges, but I still applied to them because I'm like, I don't know what will happen in the future. So at that point, even though I didn't want to go, I still applied. So even for you, it's like, you don't want to go, still apply. Like, maybe I applied to IIFT Kakinada. Maybe it wasn't possible for me to go to Kakinada. Maybe my parents wouldn't have agreed, or whatever it is, right? So those things are not to think for now. Those things are to think for a later point of time. Because these exams are so competitive, you can't be for certain about anything, and it's always, always better to have everything in the basket than to miss out on something and then be in trouble at a later point of time.
Exactly. So for people who have just joined now, mistake one, applying to only one college, because application does not mean confirmation. Do not worry about joining the college right now. Focus on collecting as many offer letters as you can so that you get more options to choose from. Imagine you apply only to Indore. Indore rejects you. Fil kya? Are you going to stay at home? You need to decide on all of these things. Mistake number two is comparing colleges. The amount of time we've seen texts and chats ki, Bhaiya Didi, is IIFT worth it? Is NFSU worth it? Is IIM Bodh Gaya Jammu worth it? Is Christ Symbiosis St. Xavier's worth it? Samjho, the best college is the college that accepts you. You have geniuses coming from IIMs, you also have geniuses coming from, say, Nalsar. Alright, it is more dependent on the student, to be very, very honest. Yes, you're going to aim for the one which has the most demand, but at the same time, imagine you got IIM Indore, you also got into Harvard. Obviously, Indore would not make a lot of sense if you have Harvard. So when you ask, is IIM Indore worth it? Someone will say, no, Harvard hai haath pe. Similarly, if you have IIM Indore and then you ask, is IIM Bodh Gaya worth it? Then we'll be like, nahin, Indore hai haath mein, Bodh Gaya is not worth it. Then later you'll be like, you have Bodh Gaya haath mein, and then you have some tier 3 college haath mein. Then we'll be like, obviously go to Bodh Gaya. Recently Jammu Bodh Gaya ka campus inauguration hua. Their placement numbers are just high. It has increased by 30-40% in the last couple of years. So yes, now Bodh Gaya is worth it. Then you might ask, Bhaiya SRCC, Yeah, IIM Indore. And if you're someone who gets into SRCC and IIM Indore, I'm 100% sure you will have the brains to make
Yeah.
that decision yourself based on what your interest is, because it's a
Even
very,
if
very
you
difficult task.
don't, no, even if you don't, obviously there's a lot to consider. There are people who have gone to SSCC from here. There are people who have come to Amindore from SSCC. So that becomes like a topic of personal choice at that point. But the main point is let the college select you first and then you select the college. And apart from that, what I had to say was don't have very high hopes about these colleges. Like when I came into college, I was like, yes, I'm going to have like a lot of growth opportunities. I'm going to learn so much. But you come here and you realize that no, you still have to work very hard. Like there is no concept of ki, like life set ho jayegi, nothing of that sort. Come to this college with the expectation that you need to continue working as hard as you did before and that you will still have to look at opportunities and grab them. And if you are not at a tier one college, the only loss, literally the only loss that you have is you have to create opportunities for yourself. So regardless, like don't rely on your college even now, because that will help you like build self-confidence about being successful regardless of where you are. And second, will make you hate your college less once you're here.
Perfect. अब ये समझ हो गया. अब now that you have understood this, mistake number 3 is not filling the form on time.
Also, there are more colleges on the list than the ones in the picture. Maybe we should list the colleges out.
No. I think we have listed like Delhi University को पूरा Delhi University बोल दिया हमने. It's like
कहाँ
CUET,
लिखा है?
like last में CUET.
हाँ.
So umbrella terms on that. देखो, mistake number 3, not filling the form before deadline. It is really sad. Last time also we've seen students, they're like, हाँ form fill कर देंगे, अरे कर देंगे, and then deadline gets over. So make sure you fill the form before the deadline. Now what forms are already out?
Wait.
हाँ.
Okay.
Yeah,
NFSU is there. Okay, okay.
we'll put little more,
हाँ,
a little
because
more
I feel
colleges. एक बार we'll go through the list and we'll add those colleges also. There are a lot of new colleges, new things that are coming up, and you
like
can,
so this is again from experience, right? Like if I take the experience of Jyotir, who's Bhavesh Junior and now works with us as well. So he went to Azim Premji University and he's doing great there. Like it's a great program. And he was choosing between Ashoka and APU. So there are these colleges as well. So that's why I really want to like list them out so
I want
people
to
don't miss out on anything.
like Abhay, who went to Masters Union.
Yes, exactly. So there are like a lot of colleges that you should like, and I think it's our responsibility to
Exactly.
put them forward because that's the point of this live. And then, yeah, so just.
Also, one more thing, our agenda is backup options, mock strategy, and then Q&A with audience. Right now, please hold your questions. We'll put a Google form
Yes,
later
we'll make a Google
where
form.
you can ask all your questions and we'll answer them. Last time we answered almost 160 questions, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Mistake 1 हो गया, mistake 2 हो गया, mistake 3 हो गया. And when you're filling the form, also make sure you fill the form correctly. When Indore asks only the aggregate, people fill best 5. Rohtak wants only best 5. People fill something else. Don't do that. Please read the instructions properly and carefully. If you cannot fill a form, how can you expect the college to take you, right? So don't make this mistake at all. Be very, very careful. And apply to other colleges also. Don't have this expectation कि हम सिर्फ Indore जाएंगे. Indore चीज़ है कि I think this is something which I told very often also. Back when in 2011 when we were preparing, there were people in WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups की अरे रोहतक क्या है, नया प्रोग्राम है, मनी मेकिंग स्कीम है, ये है वो है, हम अप्लाई ही नहीं करेंगे, हम सिर्फ इंदौर जाएंगे. They missed Indore cut off by 20 marks. ठीक है, don't be that person.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I know this is a like a question from the so this is a Q&A question, but then it's very important because this is also something that we have to address. Basically, uh, I understand that there's the number of tests will also overwhelm you. So while for us to say ki apply to all colleges, it's easy, but you actually having to go through that and give that many exams is not as easy. Which I hate. I particularly hate this concept of having to write an exam for every other college, but that's how it is. Now, the ideal thing to do over here is it's a very psychological thing, but don't get overwhelmed because you need to realize that most of the syllabus that you'll have will overlap in some way or the other, right? So ideally, say 80 to 90% of it is the same. You have to do that 10 to 20% uh, more and focus on getting that done instead of thinking कि नहीं ये भी है वो भी है etc. So it's and the other thing is like if I speak again from personal experience, I gave I gave IPMAT, right? And I did register for every other exam. But for me, it didn't make sense to prepare for Rohtak, particularly because your past academics is 40%, and I had no standing in that area, right? So a lot of it is also self-awareness. Ki, okay, I will, while I have like 10 exams to give, I will prioritize this over the other because the probability of me being accepted to this program is more. So, and for me, again, like CUET didn't make sense. I hadn't really studied for 12th. I would again have to prepare, like, not to say that I didn't prepare. I remember going through all of the syllabus once. So don't get overwhelmed. Don't think ki just because you have to prepare extra for it means that you don't apply. You never know that just applying for the exam and just going to sit for it, even if you didn't have a dedicated effort put into it, uh, what it brings, right? So, uh, make a priority list along with just applying for these exams and then just go give the exam without some of the exams at least without thinking of the final result and it might actually work out in your favor. So
Exactly.
yes,
And if you do well in
let's
any
move
of
on
these
to the
exams,
next
you
thing.
can also keep it as a CV point. Ki, hey, I was a 99.9 percentile in GIPMAT. And it's something that will
Yeah.
show, ki, yes, this guy has dedication and whatnot. Right? So we'll quickly summarize ye wala part of our life. We'll keep it simple, crisp. Mistake 1, applying to only one college. Mistake 2, comparing colleges. Mistake 3, not filling the form before deadline and filling the form incorrectly. And we talked about examples of people who do wonderful in different colleges. Jyotil, who took Azim Premji, he was deciding between Ashoka and this. Abhay, who is in Masters Union. Mistake 4, not understanding the topics that overlap. Most BB exams have aptitude, math, logical reasoning, English. If you're doing IPMAT Indore ka math, you're practically doing the math of every BBA exam, to be very honest, right? And if you have math in 12th, you get the calculus and everything else that might come for, say, CUET mathematics domain subject. Mistake 5, not making a priority list. Understand what to focus in and focus on the exam that overlaps everything. So if you're focusing on Indore, you get a lot of subjects, a lot of exams ka preparation automatically done. If you do well in the exam, it's a great CV point. Worry about joining the college later, just write the exam. And the best college is the college that accepts you and let the college select you first. Okay? That being said, the forms that are out right now, IPMAT Indore, deadline is 26th March. Please go and apply. And if you apply sooner, you get your preference city for the exam. Sometimes you might get a city which is not your first preference and it could be a problem. IPMAT Rohtak forms are out 10th April. GIPMAT is not yet out. Plus we also have the elections, so we are not sure if GIPMAT, which is conducted by NTA, might be postponed by a couple of weeks, but don't have any expectations. IIM Ranchi ka forms will be out next month. You need to register for Indore separately and then register for Ranchi separately. Nalsar forms are out. IFT forms just came out a day or two back. Nilma forms are not yet out. TAPMI not yet out. CUET is out and you can go apply. Other private colleges like NMIMS is there, St. Xavier is there, Symbiosis is there, Christ is there. Then you also have NFSU, you have IFMR, you have Masters Union. They recently started their next round. So these are all the exams and backup options that you can consider. Right? That being said, backup options के लिए हो गया almost. We'll just look at the chat थोड़ा सा to understand what is happening in order to proceed to the next item, which is mock strategy. Now, is it worth?
Oh, one more
बोलो.
test which will come under
Yes.
Delhi University test.
नहीं, test comes अलग से, but you have to write the CUET exam.
हाँ, मतलब as in it's counted in CUET.
Yes. This is a wonderful college. Do not miss out on this.
And
also.
again, these are like, don't go in depth about you. I think, have you written Ashoka? Yes, you have.
Yes, I have.
Right? So don't go detailing about like which program will fit for you, etc. St. Xavier's we missed out, or have we written?
No, we have Xavier's XCT exam.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, so we can.
Yep. Perfect.
Now that I'm less worried about the colleges, we can go to the next.
All right. BHU, one more great college, BHU.
Yes, BHU. And there's actually somebody who reached out in terms of focusing on IPMAT while being at BHU in their BBA program, and they're almost done with college, right? And the fees is very low. It has good name. Now, the thing is, okay, while the college might not have all of the opportunities like straight up available, it still has name. So you need to understand that leveraging the name of your college, leveraging whatever that you have is also important. So BHU is great. There's actually somebody in my batch who moved from BHU to IIM Indore as well. So yeah.
All right. Perfect. I just want to look at chat thoda sa, 5 questions at max, and just clean it up so that people do know. So first type of question, how is XYZ college? As mentioned earlier, comparing colleges, mistake number 2. Apply karo for a backup. When you get accepted and you need to choose, that time you can look at the colleges, but these are some things which you can keep as backup. Number 2, about verbal ability. This video is an undiscovered gold mine. Okay, honestly, all the videos in our YouTube channel are. Next 60 days, अभी 66 days बाकी है. This is how you can do verbal ability in the smartest way possible. ये देखो, उसके बाद we'll talk a little more when we come to the question answer round. Understand one very important thing about verbal ability. People ask questions like, ये करने से sufficient है क्या? Understand, in IPMAT, especially for verbal ability, do not look at things with the function of sufficiency. Look at things with the function of necessity. ये करना necessary है. Sufficient है या नहीं मालूम नहीं, but ये नहीं किया तो काम खत्म, क्योंकि this is basic. Grammar is necessary. Is it sufficient? No, obviously not. Even if you do most of the grammar, it is necessary that you do most of the grammar, especially tenses, subject-verb agreement, parallelism. Without this, you cannot get those marks which come in IPMAT.
And see, there are 2 ways to do this. You sit down and you watch grammar videos. The other way is you just start solving mocks, you start solving questions. You realize if it was a particular grammar mistake, you go back and you watch a video on that. But personally, this is what I would suggest, because instead of you going through the syllabus that you already know, just go through the parts that you're maybe lacking in, right? So that will help you save a lot of time.
All right. So Shraddha, if you want to know your preference after Indore, Rohtak, Ranchi or BHU, you are already in a great program. If you get into one of the colleges, fine. But we would just suggest you to write CAT, as it opens more doors for management also. BHU has its own charm. All right. And for IIFT, it is a bit mixed. They say applied math is not eligible. They said that last time also, but then there are people who have applied math and applied to IIFT and got into IIFT and are studying in their first year. Now their officials are giving contradictory information always, this year and last year, but students have already gone in.
Just apply. That's the moral of the story, is apply. They might forget to check.
At the same time, we understand these forms are costly as shit, and this is a very, very sad reality of India. So how do you choose amongst this? See where you stand and attempt exams that have a lot of colleges opening for you, like CUET. By giving CUET, you get every Delhi University college. You get this, you get BHU, whatnot. By giving IPMAT Indore ka exam, you get Ranchi also. Like you need to pay the other colleges a little bit. Ranchi ho gaya, Nalsal ho gaya, IIFT ho gaya, right? And JIPMAT is a very good opportunity. So you have things of different levels. Indore, which is the most highest demand wala, then lower demand wala, then lesser demand wala. And amongst the private colleges, see what works out for you. And we see a lot of overlap. If someone gets into Christ, they probably get into NMIMS also. They get into symbiosis also because of the similarity in exam. It's just on the day of exam, if things go bad, it's a problem. But you can choose accordingly and make your decision. All right. Now, what are tier 1 colleges? Like you see the names over here, right? The IIMs and the top DU not colleges. All right. That being said, we shall now move on and talk about the 60-day strategy, a mock strategy, how to study, what to study, kaise kare, kya kare. After that, we will spend like 20 minutes on this and then we shall talk about answering your questions, right? So thank you so much for being. Bolo.
I just wanted, oh, never mind. They can't see your background, but it's a very cool, like you change locations.
Yes. Oh, guys, I have finally exited, and so I have completed my 3 years at IIM Ranchi.
Yeah.
And I'm done. I will be full-time over here, helping you out. So if you choose to join AfterBoards, you can expect continuous and constant support. And you guys already know for interview who helps the mostest every goddamn year, who sits with the students for like shit ton of hours and talks with them. And that is only for AfterBoards. So yeah, थोड़ा सा promotion हो गया. So now let's talk about your 60-day strategy on what to do, कैसे करें. Let me open up the IPMAT syllabus पहले. Exam कैसे कर सकते हैं if you do not know your syllabus, right? So IPMAT and
open up the syllabus, and at the same time, you need to know that you need to give a diagnostic mark.
Yes.
Because seeing the syllabus is one thing, actually going through the questions is another. The very first time that I'd seen the paper, I'm like, yes, ho jayega. Like, I think I can do it. BA is like easy, but you actually start.
Exactly. So let me open it quickly. I hid my screen so I can put the password and everything. Okay, screen should be visible now. Cool. So we have a mock and it's a free mock. It's a diagnostic mock. What's the meaning of diagnostic mock? It is to understand कि तुमको कितना आता है, right? So step 1, attempt diagnostic mock. इससे फ़ायदा क्या होगा? By attempting a diagnostic mock, we will know your base and
Am
how
I
much.
on mute?
No, you're not.
Because I see a lot of.
Vani is not audible. ये कैसे? Hold on, let me just confirm.
Yes, please check.
Vani, say something.
Hello.
नहीं? Audit. Oh, sorry. That time when I had muted my screen का caption, I think that time you got muted.
Yeah.
Should not
Cool,
be the
cool,
issue
cool.
now. Cool. Someone just said BTC USDT buy at 67,450 Bitcoin. Strong support zone. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, I have come closer, so hopefully things should be proper. Okay, attempt diagnostic mock. We understand your base and how much to learn, and it basically answers the question कि हो पाएगा क्या नहीं, because not exactly हो पाएगा या नहीं. Forget I said that. It's more to understand how much you need to study now. ठीक है? And
true.
Along with that, one very important thing is it gives you a wake-up call, and you realize that देखो, IPMAT is not just about maths and English. Let me write. IPMAT is not just about math and English. IPMAT is about the art of choosing questions. ठीक है? ये बस समझाते हैं हम. When you attempt a mock, there are going to be times where you look at the first 2-3 questions like हाँ ये तो हो ही जाएगा, ये तो simple ही लग रहा है, and you waste say 5 minutes or 4 minutes in that. And 4 minutes out of 40 minutes is 10% of your time. Bhai, you wasted 10% of your time in one question. And if you had just gone forward, you'd be like, अरे बहुत सारे easy questions थे, मैंने देखा ही नहीं, question दिखने को मिला ही नहीं, because you spent a lot of time. And that is the number one mistake that people make. And that is what we want to curb through mocks. And through your diagnostic mock, we want you to experience that, because there are some people who learn only by making that mistake. So after you attempt the diagnostic mock, you will get thoda sa depression, which is mandatory. But the thing is,
I remember like my diagnostic mock, I didn't even get through it. Like I got anxious and I stopped it in the middle. Not recommended, finish it. You will actually understand. It's not to test whether you can clear the exam or not. It's for you to strategize and understand how you need to prepare for the next few weeks.
Exactly. So let me tell you a secret. No IIM, and I repeat, no IIM looks at your mock scores. Your mock score can be 50, 60, 70, or even 20, or maybe you did not give the mock, but luckily no IIM gives a shit about how much you scored in your first mock. So make all your mistakes here. Make mistakes here so you don't make mistakes in actual exam, right? So ये समझ आ गया है about diagnostic mock. Attempt it, understand it, and afterwards you can also learn through it. Like we have this analyze function where you can just choose your Indore ka mock one, and so you only want to see math, and तुमको सिर्फ geometry देखना है because you feel you're weak in geometry. You can just go through all the geometry questions like this and attempt it, right? All right. Next, we have these topics, and once you understand what topics to study, you can start understanding the concepts. Let us put this. So step 1 ho gaya, attempt diagnostic mock. Step 2, understand topics and learning. Right. So Vani, how should someone go about this after they see this big syllabus list? How should they do?
So there are two things. There's one which is how important a chapter is, like how repetitive it has been. The second thing is what you're good at, right? Like somebody might really like algebra but hate arithmetic, or somebody might really like arithmetic and hate number systems. So you need to understand that you will have strengths and weaknesses, and we can't give you go in this format, because your strength is not my strength, right? So start with your strengths, and then when you're working on these strengths, try to take the topics that have appeared most frequently. So if I talk about myself, say the most aware out of all of the topics that I was of was arithmetic. And based on my own liking, I start with time and work, right? Which is okay. But if I start with averages, I'm at a better advantage because averages has appeared more in IPMAT as compared to time and work. And averages will also help me solve other arithmetic chapters potentially. So it's two things. Think about this. Write it down. Writing things down or creating something on Excel or Notion will give you more clarity. I cannot say this enough. Don't try to make a schedule where you're like 3 दिन में ये complete करेंगे, उसके बाद 3 दिन में ये complete करेंगे. That is just a lot of stress on you, and it's also unrealistic, because now is not the time to complete chapters. Now is the time to start solving, to give mocks, and learn like every new concept that you can from every question that appears. Very short experience. My cousin brother, he's also preparing for IPMAT. He was at home and we were going through his mock, right? And we're going through some of the questions, and I'm like, look at this question, try to solve it. He's just like, I haven't really done this chapter, or like I haven't revised it, and I'm just like, still look at it. It's a very easy concept that you can actually cover like right now. It's not very hard. So, and like literally 3 minutes later, he's just like, oh, this is so easy. And I'm pretty sure that if not for all of the questions, for a lot of them, you'll be able to follow this process. And you might feel like giving up a lot of the times. And for those, just bookmark the question and move on. But that doesn't mean that you don't go through every question and try to learn the concept in that, right? Because if you try to go chapter by chapter now or chapter by chapter after your boards, where you're trying to learn the concepts and you're not solving questions, you'll be at a disadvantage because you'll know the concepts, but you won't be able to apply the concepts. So this is about choosing topics.
All right. So start with chapters that have come the most, as Vani has shared. And one very important thing is don't do days left by number of chapters, which she also said. Okay, now that we have say 66 days and you have 29 chapters, you'll be like, "Arey, do din mein ek chapter." No, some chapters are very simple that you can clear in half a day. Some chapters might take a lot more of your time if you're not comfortable with it, say with trigonometry. So one more thing is don't skip something entirely, know the basics of it at least. Reason being, and I want to play this short. This was a question that came in IPMAT 2022. बहुत basic question है, but a lot of people got wrong. We'll have a look at
The
this.
length of a sides of a triangle is x, 21 and 40.
ठीक है? The length of the sides of a triangle x 21 40, x is shortest side, a possible value of x's. This is something that won't take more than 20 seconds of your time, but people are like, "Arey, geometry, hato," and they don't look at geometry.
You're talking about others. Let me talk about Bhavesh for serious. There was a question on parallel lines in straight lines. He left that question and came. 4-mark question, guess cutoff that he missed was 1 mark.
2 mark, 2 mark.
And 2 mark. So it's like we understand ki doing all of the topics, especially if you don't have a private tutor, will be very difficult. So it's not expected out of you to know every topic 100%. The idea should be to perfect your strengths, not rely on them, as in you can't say कि ठीक है मैंने arithmetic कर दिया तो मेरा हो जाएगा. नहीं, you will have to go a bit beyond that. But yes, perfect your strengths, have a good composition of topics. Don't skip out on any topic unless you feel like I will take like 15 days just to cover this. That is a different thing, right? But don't skip out, do the very basics, and I'm pretty sure somewhere or the other you have done the basics in school. Go watch a video on that, solve a few questions. Just that much will help you because when I was giving the paper, I had like 4 or 5 minutes left after I was done with the questions that I was sure of. Now, if I know a topic of an easy question, very basics, I know it, I know that I'm using my time well, right? I'm increasing my chances of getting in. So the idea again is not to tell you कि 100% syllabus cover करो. That goes without saying कि it's not possible. And it's also not required because you're not trying to score 360 out of 360 in IPMAT. So yes, again, do the very basics. It can be parallel lines, like just knowing कि ठीक है, if you need to take reciprocal and like take the, sorry, I'm saying it wrong, or not parallel, so it's the other perpendicular lines. It's reciprocal and multiplying by -1. Just this knowledge will definitely help you. So do the very basics for the topics that you're feeling not confident in.
Yep. All right. Guys, we will have a question answer round later. So please don't get worried if you're not able to answer the chat. We sometimes look at it, कभी-कभी time मिल जाता है तो answer sneak in कर देते हैं through the text. But wait, हम अच्छे से बैठ के सब चीज़ आंसर करेंगे, ठीक है? Now, if you're looking for where this paragraph is, I think my current went, but I think my internet is still there. So.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there. Like you're connected.
Okay, cool. That is nice. I hope it comes back soon. If you're worried where this sheet is, if you join our WhatsApp community, first video mein, first link mein, sab sheet hai, please do it. And I promise you, you will get a lot of resources. Now the second question is geometry is vast, how to cover it, what to do, how to do. We shall also, even if you put the question now, we won't be
Wait,
able.
no, I have a very good
Hi.
answer for this.
Bolo.
Geometry is vast, there's no lie for that, but when you go look at the past paper, right? Just look at all of the geometry questions, try to solve them, look at the solutions online. You will realize that the kind of geometry that probably comes in JE or that the kind of geometry that comes in CAT doesn't come in IPMAT. A lot of the questions are basic, and they're not from very complex concepts that you don't have to even refer to, right? So getting that idea, like we won't be able to give you that idea by saying ki हाँ ये subtopic आता है. When you go look at the paper, you'll understand automatically what are the things that you can do and what are the things that you don't have to do at all.
Yep.
And this is another mistake that I made. I used to think I will leave the past paper for the last. Like as in once I'm like at a good stage with my preparation, then I'll give the past paper to understand where I stand. But I think that was a huge mistake. The first step should be to also go through the past paper, solve it, because then you become absolutely sure of the things that you need to ignore, which is also why we tell students who are in 11th currently to go give IPMAT even though they won't be eligible to appear for the exam, right? Because it will give them an experience of the exam that is not replaceable by anything. Okay.
Just a minute. All right. Am I visible now?
Yes.
Perfect. My dad came and he handed over a nice light.
Nice. Cute.
Oh, and the current came. All right. Where were we? हाँ, attempt previous year paper, view it, कोई problem नहीं है, don't save it till the end, right folks? And people who are studying for 2025, देखो, if you want to face your fear and if you want to get started, this is a nice thing which we call how to shut up and study for IPMAT. You look at it like, oh, progression series आता है. What is stopping you right now to go to YouTube? What is stopping you to go to YouTube, search progression and series basics? पूरा एनिमेट करके सिखा देते हैं लोग, राइट? लाइक ओपन डोंट मेमोराइज, व्हाट अ ब्यूटीफुल चैनल, ठीक है? इट एक्सप्लेन्स एवरीथिंग. इफ यू हैड अ वेरी बैड टीचर इन स्कूल, नॉट एन इशू, अच्छे से सिखा देता है योर बेसिक्स. एंड देन यू आर लाइक ओके, समझ आ गया है, लेट मी ट्राई लर्निंग अ लिटिल मोर, right? And you can look at different videos over here, and even this 10th standard, 11th standard, 12th video, if you know it, if you've studied it, in less than 20 minutes revision ho jata hai if you recall things. And then you can even search CAT basics. And this is not because I want you to cover CAT level per se, even though CAT quants and IPMAT quants are very similar. It is because people who attempt CAT, they are people who are coming from job, they have forgotten math. So उनके लिए बहुत अच्छे वीडियोस बनाते हैं स्टार्टिंग से. एंड आई पर्सनली फील, एंड वी पर्सनली फील, that all these videos are on par, if not better, than most coachings out there where you have to spend a lot of hard-earned money, right? So if you open Rhoda ka video or say MBA Pathshala ka, you will learn all of these concepts really well. So like even Crack ka video, right? You will understand how to solve these questions. And when you come to IPMAT, you can even search like now IPMAT questions on YouTube itself, and you might get a percentile ka video also, that's super 300. And it's basically a compilation of all the questions that have come in the past about it, right? And then you can have a look at it. And once you do all of it, you can say, okay, to one level, I have completed this progression and series, I have learned it, and understand math cannot be done just by looking at the video. You need to have a notebook, you need to have a pen and a pencil, and you will probably complete more than 1,000 pages with just practice.
Can I I'm so sorry to like,
Please
but You need to also understand that a lot of the times it might also not be necessary for you to watch a video. Like you can skip right to solving questions. Like there are topics that you might be like absolutely unfamiliar with. Go watch videos. There will be places where you'll get stuck with a particular topic. Go watch videos. But if you're starting out, if you like, a lot of the times the mistake that people make is they'll watch all lectures once. They'll just be like, they'll be like, huh, ab lectures khatam ho gaya. At this point, I'll start revising and solving questions. Not how it works. The questions that you solve in the lecture are just examples, right? You will have to do, you'll have to go above and beyond that. You'll have to solve questions without the assistance of someone else, and probably like 5 to 10x more than what is solved in the video.
Yep. Solve questions while watching lectures. Beach mein you have Arun Sharma ka books, and what we aim to do is ki, hey, you're watching lectures, you want to understand, you just click on practice at AfterBoards. Progression and series karna hai, click on practice. You get conceptual level questions, right? And I think these are very simple questions that someone in the chat can also answer. Shreya, it's not an issue because you need to learn to face your fear of competitive exams. If you go and sit in the exam hall, it's not going to harm you, right? No, there's not a strict rule for this.
There's no strict
There's no
rule. I
strict
mean,
rule.
if there was, we wouldn't have uh, told you, like, of course, if they add a clause, okay, you can't do this, it's a different thing, but
Yeah,
no issues. Like, if I want to give CAT, I'm pretty sure
yeah.
I can give CAT. I could have given CAT in my last year when I wasn't eligible to shift colleges. But yeah, there's no limit put by the
Plus,
institute.
I know
So
there's a student in Ranchi only right now who gave क्या बोलते IPMAT in 11th also, and he gave GMAT in 12th. He wrote CAT exam just for fun before also, so that is not an issue whatsoever, right? Now, Dekho, don't ask about coaching centers because we just told you most of the video lectures out there for free are on par, if not better than most coaching, right? And if you're asking about the coaching that you're asking Gautam, I would tell you to run away as far away as possible from that, right? People are saying answer is one, one, हो गया. Next question, बोलते जाओ, बीच बीच में will keep leveling, right? Hey, someone gave a very good idea. When light comes, put on charging of laptop. Thank you. Charge डाल दिया. Right?
what?
Best channel to learn basic for quants. Top videos देखो. I might like say an academy. Someone might like MBA का PW पाठशाला. Someone might like Huda. Someone might like TrackU. दो वीडियो भी देखने से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. You're not going to lose anything by investing that 20-30 minutes. You will learn what channels work out best for you, what teacher you like, and then you can watch off there, right? Shraddha, the coaching centers which you have mentioned are so problematic, especially they're online. I'm not sure of offline, but online ka I would.
Mindworks has not been around for a while, though.
No, like I remember, like even in ACE, we had some people come from Mindworks and they just complained so much कि क्या सिखाया हमको कुछ सिखाया
No,
नहीं.
but they've also like they're genuinely not active as well. Like it's not even about like dissing the coaching.
रुको मुझे
And
अब
okay,
हाँ
no. A more straight, because us saying कि नहीं मत देखो coaching will not help.
हाँ
If you really want to, do refer to these online videos once. नहीं हो पा रहा है, you want accountability, you want somebody who will sit with you or will ask you, go see their demo lectures. We personally have not gone through the content that these coachings have. It's wrong to look at the number of people who have gotten into that through that coaching and then decide. The correct way to go is go sit in their demo lecture, ask them, ki, please show me a demo of the recorded lectures, let me sit in your live lecture, and then decide, because that way you'll have a much clearer view about how things are, right?
One thing which
So
I want to also
yeah.
say, Vani, 20% of students offer coaching watch more than 80%. So what we are trying to say is 80% of the students watch practically almost nothing after spending a lot of money. Right, so 80% of students are consuming just 2,400 rupees worth of the content if we quantify it linearly. And in the remaining time, please make sure that you learn from online sources which have really good lectures. कोई भी doubt है like logarithm समझ नहीं आ रहा, just search logarithm, बहुत मेहनत से video हो जाता है online. And I also want to address this thing about IPM careers. You said कि 40 seats in IIM Indore, and I will take the name right here because this is public information. They give their last May, they try to enroll students very quickly for the personal interview round. It is 59 rupees, 129 rupees, 159 rupees. They take one session from you by some IPM student whom they pay a couple of bucks per hour. And then when you get into IIM, they portray as if they are you are their student कि all India rank 4 हमारे साथ. अरे 59 रुपये का कोर्स लिया है for personal mentorship. I abhor that. So that is why even we had a couple of rankers who have used AfterBoards, but we don't go publicizing that because we honestly believe that if there was someone who would complete and track IPMAT from coaching X, if they had the same amount of dedication, वो coaching Y से भी कर रहे थे. For the most of the good coachings out there, और वो self study से
Like
भी
we're not, there's no point of us to say कि हमारे बच्चे से like the person has cracked IPMAT. Like that's not how it works. At the end of the day, you need to realize that it will be you who determines if you get into IPMAT or not. It's a question of, okay, resources. Now, sure, again, I'm not saying like, I don't want to be the one to say like, no, don't look at them. Just like, you never know what works out for you. Like, I don't want to put that thought into mind ki like, no, don't look at them. Absolutely don't. Explore it. Think, decide for yourself, of course. But you need to understand ki like, just getting into a coaching does not mean that you'll crack IPMAT. Just because the person portrays ki, okay, बहुत ज़्यादा selection से, does not work like that. And yeah, like we're not speaking from the fact ki we have some agenda or something against someone. It's just we know because we've been in this industry. So again, go see demo lectures, see YouTube videos, decide for yourself, but don't rely on a coaching to help you crack IPMAT. Ultimately, you will be the one who will have to work hard. Okay, let's move on.
Yes, basically, coaching helps with collating resources, gives you community revision. If the teacher is good, you get good live classes, kaha question solve ho jata hai. At the end of the day, it's your hard work. You look at say 40 people scored from this coaching, but coaching also had 1,000 students, na? Remaining 960 ka kya hua? Right. Do not try to quantify in that regard. That is a very stupid metric, to be very honest.
But again, no coaching is like, yeah, the 40, yeah, again, you need to realize ki that is how marketing is done.
Yep.
And to have a more objective view of the coaching, don't look at the number of acceptances. Look at their demo lectures, talk to the faculty if you can, have an objective view. Not saying no, just saying the correct way to make a perception about a coaching.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next topic.
I just want to talk about this for JEE aspirants who are watching. Aglima asked, are 40 days enough to cover enough syllabus? My math is pretty good, scared about VA. My cousin, without studying for IPMAT, got 210 marks. ठीक है. He's now in BITS Pilani, so no issues about that. But उसका IPMAT crack नहीं हुआ VA में. QA बहुत अच्छे से हो गया. So if you're a good JEE student, I'm pretty sure math is done, as you said. Start attempting mocks and learning through the mock questions of VA itself. And I'm pretty sure, based on the comment I've read, you know how to use punctuation, which puts you above 50% of most people for VA. You'll do enough. You'll do well. Just start attempting mocks and learning through mocks.
Yeah, and this is still like a good point because VA takes time, but you have enough time to get to that level. So yeah, keep giving mocks. That's the only thing. And
someone asked, can I rely on your all access mocks? See, if you're someone who is learning and you have learned the solutions of 25 different mocks, so 25 different mocks में कितना questions है? 25 into 90, which is almost 2,250 IPMAT type questions. If you know the solutions of all of these, you have a higher probability of clearing exams, because exams में sometimes you get similar questions. Like कभी-कभी chess का कोई question आ गया, grid का कोई question आ गया, maybe the LRDI set is somewhat similar, maybe some English questions are similar. I remember almost like 3 English question ka words had come in IPMAT 23 from our 5 marks, and then there were 2 questions which were similar in math. Like the concept was the same, it had different constraints basically.
Numbers, yeah.
So basically if you do more mocks, you get more familiarity with questions. Now if you ask कि AfterBoards से सब हो जाएगा, obviously if you put in the effort at any place, ho jayega. But if you take afterboards and then you do nothing with it, then obviously nahi hoga, right? So what we are basically saying, okay, this apart from this, we'll look into it later.
No, but yeah, if it's enough, yes, if you clear our question bank and you put us in a position where the unlimited sectionals are not, like, are
You've
giving
completed
you
all of it.
problems, you completed, which is very high, like, it's very hard to get there. If you're at that point and you're, like, telling us ki zyada question or questions dalo, of course, like, you're at a very good position. And this doesn't mean ki you're just solving the questions, you're also improving your concepts and you're getting questions right progressively. So yeah, is it enough? Yes, it is.
It's subjected to the terms and conditions key. You actually do all the 2250 questions and you learn it, and then if any question of that ever came up, you could also do it, right? वैसे
Yes,
yes, 2250 questions is a lot and it is a good
more than that actually.
way. But so one thing which we do is revision mainly. So if you brought up afterwards, like I'm not promoting, they brought it up. You can basically choose a question, choose a mock, choose math. You can choose a topic if you want, and just make it easy. So इससे क्या होगा? You will get the smell of easy question. So when easy questions come to various mocks, you'll be like, हाँ, ये easy question है, हम निकाल लेते हैं. Because let me tell you guys a secret. CBSE में, I'm going to write it over here. CBSE में easy question होता है 1 mark. Hard question होता है say 5 mark. You know what IPMAT में easy question का word कितना है? Easy का भी full है, hard का भी full है. To understand this and learn how to smell the easy questions and answer them well. Like people, like I think some of you told कि geometry skip कर लेंगे, ये skip हो जाएगा. You look at this and you might skip it, but you should realize कि अरे ये तो बहुत basic formula है, हमने तो 9th 10th में पढ़ा था, right? And with one line, you can get the answer as cos theta and boom, 4 easy marks which can make or break your cutoff, right? So that being said, let's move on.
Let's move on.
So step 1 was diagnostic mock, step 2 understand topics and learning, and we also covered a little bit about the coaching centers, we covered a little bit about mocks. Right, so understanding topics mein, we showed how conceptual clarity build ho sakta hai topic wise lectures. Don't just watch the video, solve color question, complete it. Maybe have one notebook where you list down the framework for answering questions. I had 2 notebooks. One was for, never mind. People have 2 notebooks. I started, but हुआ नहीं मेरे से. But people who are toppers in IPMAT have 2 notebooks. One of the notebook is where they list down the formulas and they also write the framework of answering questions. So over there, what they do is, for example, you need to solve a question on what is the remainder if x is divided by y. So x can be say 55 to the power 300 kuch bhi divided by say 6 or 7. So you learn cyclicity, which is a number system concept, and you can figure out the answer. So they write the step, first do this, then do this, then do this, and they have the formula with them. And in the other notebook, they have a lot of practice questions, which they have done from the coaching material, which they have done through mocks, which they have done through our practice questions, through our unlimited mocks, through say Arun Sharma or different books, or maybe kabhi question aa jata hai, doubt mein they try to solve it. So वैसे हो जाता है, right? So step 1, step 2 हो गया, and step 3, which is the most important, is revision. And the biggest myth is...
Yes, you will forget concepts. It will come as a shock to you, but 2 things, keep revising, and the second thing is when you forget the concepts, don't freak out. Don't go into the mindset ki nahi, ab mujhse nahi ho payega. Don't become negative. You need to realize that the first time that you learn a chapter, it takes you a lot of time. And the second time that you learn it, it takes you like less than 1/10 the efforts, right? Because you recall most of it. You recall how to solve the question. So it's natural to forget things. But yeah, that is why you give mocks, right? Because you practically, by giving as many mocks as you can, you go over most of the concepts once more after your preparation. So don't freak out about revision.
Exactly. There's this very nice curve which is called the curve of forgetfulness. So the first time you learn kuch aayega, then you will forget. Then after a couple of days, 3-4 days, you need to again have a look. And we say कि if you attempt mocks, you get constant revision. If you attempt unlimited sectional, you get constant revision क्योंकि सब टाइप का क्वेश्चन आ जाता है आपके सामने. So if I choose an essay sectional right now, एक क्या बोलते हैं ये कौन सा टॉपिक का है, थोड़ा सा रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन थोड़ा लग रहा है, ये थोड़ा फंक्शंस टाइप का क्वेश्चन आ गया है, एक इनइक्वालिटी का क्वेश्चन आ गया, एक प्रोबेबिलिटी का क्वेश्चन आ गया, एक मॉडुलस का क्वेश्चन आ गया और एक फंक्शन का क्वेश्चन आ गया, एक प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस का क्वेश्चन आ गया. सो यू गेट द जस्ट, एक मिक्सचर्स एलिगेशंस या परसेंटेज, यू गेट टू सॉल्व ऑल ऑफ दीज क्वेश्चंस वेरी वेल. Oh, and one more thing which you might see here, show time spent. We recently put a feature where for every question you are attempting, it shows a time for that particular question and you can hide it. So it is like a training wheel. When you start driving a cycle, starting में मुश्किल होता है, but you have training wheels and you get used to it. So when we put this feature, one of the students messaged us कि भैया हमको कभी 100 marks से ज़्यादा आया नहीं है, but now he has faced his fear. He's able to skip questions when he sees the timer is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. He's like, okay, no, let me do other questions and come back later. And he got 143 marks from 70, 80. So that in itself is a huge jump in understanding how IPMAT works. Objective नहीं है कि question 1 से question 2 से question 15 solve करना. Objective है कि 5 question लो, अच्छे से कर लो. Last year the cutoff was 12 marks, which is 3 out of 15. Because it was a harder set also. So hopefully you guys understand the gist behind it. ठीक है?
And somebody said to like this video. I agree. Please like the video. We are. I mean, Bhavesh is done, but yes, we're doing college and mentoring you. So yes, go like the video.
So we asked around 40-50 friends of ours who are in IIM, and they said the biggest regret. Sorry, ये वाला चीज़ के लिए we asked 40-50 people who were unable to, who might have taken a gap year or well, unable to get into the college which they wanted. And they said these 3 things which we collated. First is starting late. And they were like, अरे बोर्ड एग्जाम के बीच में थोड़ा टाइम हो जाता है और हम टाइम निकाल के थोड़ा पढ़ रहे थे तो मे बी 1-2 कॉन्सेप्ट और हो जाता क्योंकि they missed the cutoff by single digit marks. And one question is 4 marks, so understand it. Number 2 is lack of revision. There was a question in which you had to know the geometric progression, sum of a GP. But they forgot the formula. And they were like, अरे इतना basic question था हम भूल गए. Maybe वो होता तो हमारा cutoff clear हो जाता. And number 3, some people focus on personal interview like, अरे इतना ज़्यादा general awareness, general knowledge किया, but cutoff ही निकला नहीं. So what was the point of the interview preparation when I cannot even sit for the interview, right? So this is the entire thing. Number 1, 60-day strategy में attempt a diagnostic mock. आज ही हो जाता है तो आज ही कर लो. एक idea मिल जाएगा कि life कैसे होगा for the next 60 days. And then you have these questions. The link is there. If you join our WhatsApp community, you will get all of this available. And the link is also in this video का description only for WhatsApp. So हम live के बाद एक FAQ post कर देंगे about all of this. I hope all these tips were very, very helpful. Have a notebook, write down the frameworks, write down the mistakes that you might be doing, practice a lot of questions because maths, no one learns math by looking at video, they learn by solving questions. And now you might ask questions कहाँ से लो? If you have a coaching, उनका material use करो. If you have books, उनका books use करो. Or if you want everything in one place such that you get the questions again and again, that is why we try to add some value addition in the IPMAT space by AfterBoards का topic test and limited marks and whatnot, right? Now also attempt the previous year paper because you get an idea of the type of questions that come, and don't try to keep it in the last. And the most important thing about mocks is mocks are not a simulation of the final score. Mocks will have say a varying pattern because mock का difficulty भी same नहीं है. If you ask someone of 2023 IPMAT, so let's take a topper. 2023 IPMAT paper में सोचो 240 आ गया. 2022 IPMAT paper में maybe 250 आता, 260 आता, right? With every exam you have different levels of difficulty. Mock 1 might have difficult VA, mock 2 might have easy VA. So your scores are also going to change accordingly. So understand and do not worry if your mock scores are changing. That is normal. And do not fall in this trap of comparison and being like, अरे इसको इतना आता है मुझे कुछ आता नहीं है. because it all matters how you do on D-Day. D-Day में क्या आता है वो important है, right? And revision helps for all of that. So understand it's not duplicated effort, it is a necessary effort. You're a human, you might forget, you need to keep doing revision, look at your notes, maybe bookmark difficult or interesting questions which cover a lot of concepts which you think you should have a look at later, and do complete your revision by attempting a good amount of mocks and other questions.
Also, I just want to say that while you're watching the live, go to our community wala posts and go through them once, because a lot of the questions that you might have are probably covered over there, and things that are not is what we want to spend time on right now, and not the basics of, like, say, eligibility and all of those things.
Yep.
Those things are there for you to see on the community posts. So just while you're on the live, you can just skim through those things as well, and then ask us whatever questions that you have.
And I hope if you ask a question which has already been covered, we'll just say it has been covered earlier in the live, so that we can take.
And then we'll also, like, our last video, it has timestamps, so even though it was a live, like, you can go check it out, and questions that you have again that we're not able to address right now, you can go through that. Most of them are there over there, so go through that once. And we'll try our best to put timestamps for this as well, but then mostly not for Q&A, for everything that we've discussed before this.
All right. Ayush, I believe all the DUCA criteria is given in their website. All the criteria for admissions in different colleges through CUET, and you can have a look at that. Because you will need, like, domain के साथ 3-4 domain and then English, or you have different combinations that you can take. You can have a look at that. Okay, now we shall do a question answer round. So here's how it goes. Right? Let us quickly make a Google form. Let me stop sharing the screen for a second so I can open everything and do. Alright, want to say something, Iqbal? So audio does not come in this. Makes sense. Okay. Now let me, एक minute guys, just bear with us. We are making a quick form. AfterBoards Q&A. And just a second, just making the form. Question, paragraph, let us 1 minute दे दो. Yes, so now we are sending this link over here, and we are going to pin this message. All right, we are going to pin this message and ask all your question in this. And Vani, yes, Vani, am I there? So fill the form, give us a minute, and we'll answer all of these. Access to the link can't be filled. क्या तेरे को क्या issue आ रहा है? You should be able to collect it. You should be able to fill it. What is the issue? We need permission to fill the form. एक second, let me just look. Oh, sorry. It was restricted to my college ka email. Ab issue should be fixed. Fixed issue. Try to do it. See if you're able to do it. I think Vani should be here now. Okay, Vani is back. 1 second, let me bring Vani back on the screen. ठीक है, अभी try करो. Sanchita, Varun, Pranav, Soumya, put all your questions over there. I think things should be better now. एक minute. Vani, I'll also send you the...
Yeah, I have it.
You have it? Perfect. It was done
Yeah,
through
it's
my
in
college ka
class.
email.
Yeah.
Let's quickly look at that. Okay, let's open a sheet and see what is up. I have clicked on link to sheet. All right. Let's make this. Also, meanwhile, guys, video को like कर दो, थोड़ा subscribe भी कर दो, ताकि when we put out, we have really good content coming out. We have things for JEE students. We have a video on IPMAT is Easy Part 2, where we have taken 10 questions of last time and completed it in 10 minutes. So 40 marks in 10 minutes and how you can do it. And IPMAT is all about choosing questions. We have interviews with the director of IIM Ranchi, the chairperson of IPM at IIM Ranchi. And we have videos on different backup colleges and videos from IIM Indore, in which Vani is there because Vani is in all of your dream colleges. Guys, so ठीक है, we have 20 questions so far, and I'm pretty sure this is only going to go up as time goes on.
Also, we would. I think we should put a time limit on the form because otherwise we end up stretching it.
We'll stop taking questions at 10:30.
Perfect.
Okay, meanwhile, let's keep answering questions. Have there any opinions on this bachelor's course, the analytics? Is it worth? Yes, do it, apply for it, and at the same time, look at other colleges also as backups. And some colleges...
And again, not easy for us to answer because you going to college also comprises of a lot more things, which include your personal interests. It includes finances, it includes the location of the college versus where you actually live. But that doesn't mean that you don't apply for it. Of course, like your preference might change based on whatever college that you have in hand, right? So apply it. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. This is a great institute. Again, great opportunities that will be available for you there.
And the next question is how to pick easy questions. Vani?
I would link my video, the ATS one, for this because with visuals it's explained. And it just shows them which video it is so they can
I've showed that.
Go watch that. Yeah.
So in this video, Vani explains how she used to make buckets. So some people, they make, what is this thing called? Mark for review and next, but कभी कभी confusing हो जाता है कि mark for review and next के में 10 question आ गया, क्या choose करना है. So in her love sheet itself, she used to make like 3 divisions, and वो divisions में like left side is easiest, middle one is medium, right side is hard. So ABC approach basically, अभी करो बाद में करो छोड़ दो. And she used to mention the numbers of the question, like 17 question, 16 question, and then she used to look at it later. So that is something which works out really well. Spend the first minute or two just looking at questions and seeing and smelling out the easy ones and completing that. like we mentioned about backup colleges for this, apply to backups. Now the thing is, we have given you a list.
And to be very honest, it's wrong to call them backups because all of these are great colleges. So it's not about it being a backup, it's about you applying everywhere and then deciding.
Huh.
Uh, we'll put a screenshot up of the thing that Bhavesh had on the screen at the beginning, so that you can go through all of them and apply to everything.
It's already done in our community tab. So
Yes.
next is, how much should I score in your VA sections with respect to the difficulty level and the average scores of my counterparts? So our sectionals are unlimited in nature and you get a new mix every time. So if you see a lot of hard questions come up, then obviously your scores are going to decrease by a bit. But on average, we've seen people score, if you're scoring above 100, you're in a very good position. If you're scoring above 90, not an issue, you're still in a good position, you just need to cover up more. Same thing with
But
70
again,
also.
see, it's very subjective to
The
how
section you
the
get.
sectional was. Because if you have mostly easy question and then you're getting happy over getting 100 plus on that, it's not the most realistic thing, right? So when you're preparing for IPMAT, it's okay to have a mindset, okay, I want to aim for this much, and then in the next mock, I want to aim for higher. But how that's detrimental to you is that the next exam that you're giving might be easier. And this is something that has happened to me as well. Like a lot of the times, uh, you get happy over like shorter gains, but then the idea of giving a sectional is not improving your score in a linear manner. There are two things. One, of course, it's to learn new concepts and improve your score. But that doesn't happen by going like, okay, no, I need to score 10 marks more in the next sectional, right? And the second is to get adaptive to every kind of difficulty that you have. Because again, if you go see the past papers, you'll see that the difficulty of each mock has changed over time, because you can imagine that these are professors who are setting up the paper. There's no need for them to be uh, they're testing your aptitude, right? They're not trying to see how much you know. They're trying to see how well you can do in this exam and how well you can strategize. So there's no need for them to keep the difficulty the same like CBSE would. So you need to prepare yourself for every kind of difficulty that where there can be. So you can think of a benchmark. Okay, this is the benchmark that I don't want to go below in, but don't have that mind process कि नहीं इतना ही score करना है, इसके ऊपर ही score करना है. Because again, it has negative aspects of you not having a full view of your preparation, and second, you getting overly depressed if it's a very hard mock, right? So yeah, the aim is to become adaptive, not to score well.
Perfect. Next is, I took PCM in.
Also, I'm stopping the responses because
कितना questions हो
yes,
गया अभी? Good,
46.
47. हाँ. All right. 96% in 96 percentile in JEE mains. I have decent prep, can get into bits engineering, but I don't enjoy studying PCM. I really like the IPM curriculum. What should I do? You should try and write IPMAT, and if you get in, because if you're getting 96 in JEE mains, you have a very good shot. That means you know math अच्छे से, I believe. And if you prepare for IPMAT and you get into Indore or Ranchi or Rohtak or Jammu or Bodh Gaya, the IPM curriculum would excite you, and as you said, it is. So just give it a shot. What's the matter? Attempt a free mock, then start learning different concepts, or just start doing a shit ton of mocks. What is stopping you, right?
Also, there's somebody who's asking about BML Vanjil, right?
That was a
So
backup.
I have, yeah. Wait, did we cover that?
No, I
We
accidentally
didn't, right?
told about. Okay, no, you go on, go on.
Ha ha ha. No, so again, like I've looked at the college, it's private, good, but then again, you might want to also look at like it might you need to consider if it's worth if you're not in the same city as a college, you have to consider if you would want to move over there as a backup. Again, apply if you feel like you don't have anything else and you can actually go there, do it. But at the same time, if you're in a different city, also look at other options that you have locally. Uh, you might want to prefer those colleges based on financials or based on the fact that they might be of a similar level. So yeah.
Perfect. How deep do they go in the academics in IIM Indore? It is adaptive. So they ask you an easy question. If you're able to answer, then they go a little higher, little higher, little higher. And most interviewers want to go to a position where they ask you a question and you are not able to answer perfectly. And then they try to gauge your understanding. And it is all right. Your objective is not to solve every single question in the interview because they have 30-20 years of experience. तो उनको आता है तुमसे ज़्यादा यार. You cannot win the conversation. You should not go to an interview with the objective कि I'm going to win the conversation. You're going in that to have a conversation and show them कि हाँ you know a little bit, but you are here to learn and improve and become better, and you're the most humble person out there, right? So that's the answer. Knowing your minimum CBSE curriculum is the hygiene factor. Knowing a little more is good. And if you do not know even more than that, it is okay. They just want to see how you handle pressure and if you are going to take an educated guess or you're going to bullshit over there. And they know when you're bullshitting, so don't treat them like that. Should you fill IIM Rohtak if you have 63 in 10th and 17 12th? If you're a general candidate, it is a very, very improbable event because of the 40% weightage in 12th. So, yes. If you're a general student, then I would say otherwise. But if you don't have problems with the finances, there's no harm in writing the exam and giving it a shot. Like experience aa jata hai. Plus it's 1 week before the indoor exam. So if you've never been to an exam center, you get that experience and you don't have the same amount of anxiety the second time. How to make VA strong? In the next 60 days, you're not going to become the best at English if you do not have a good base. But you can learn enough English to crack IPMAT. And how do we do that? Please watch this video. It is going to give you a lot of clarity. If
Also, another thing, start thinking in English. It's a very out there advice that people give, but it helps. Personally, like very honestly, like I never understood English in school. It was always me consuming content in English. So this is not a method to prepare. The method to prepare is shared by Bhavesh in the video. But to go a little extra, because you might learn quicker, you might be somebody who learns quicker by listening, right? So if you're someone who mainly consumes content in Hindi, try to replace that with English, whatever content it may be. I'm sure that even though you guys are preparing, you might be using your phones to an extent, you might be on YouTube to an extent. So just make sure that all of those times you're consuming it in English. Second, try to talk in English. Now, I used to be shy about doing the same at home because we always talked in Hindi. So I never did that at home, but then with my friends, it was always the case. And now I'm so used to it that I can't switch back to Hindi. So try talking in English again. That will help with grammar. It will make it more just like you won't have to think whether it's right or wrong. It'll just come to you, right? So yeah, these are just a few more things above the video.
All right. What all exams did both of you give? Please tell.
Oh, so I think Bhavesh appeared for less exams compared to me. The first time around, we had given DUJAT, all the IPMAT exams. The second time around, I gave NPAT, Symbiosis, IPMAT, JIPMAT, Rohtak, what else? CUET, I gave CUET. So yeah, literally every exam. I gave SAT a lot of times and it definitely helped. So again, not because you guys should give it, but yeah, so giving exams always helps.
Perfect. I'm a partial dropper able to clear the IPMAT in the cutoff both QA section but lack at VA. Yes, I hope the VA ka question is answered over there. Sometimes I feel like live लेना पड़ेगा अलग से about VA and just say the same points. It would help out. But yes, but one very actionable tip is if you go to our ये वाला syllabus का list and you go to this vocabulary.com का list of commonly confused words, IPMAT Indore tends to ask questions from this, 6 questions from this about commonly confusing words, and that is easy 24 marks. So do go through this list, can give you a good idea about it. Plus we have a lot of questions on our own platform with very good solutions because most coachings or mocks, the solutions are बहुत ganda for English. We put a lot of effort into that and maybe that could help you out. So do try it out. Okay, now we have someone who's saying they're scoring 130% VA, but they're worried about QA. They're not confident in QA at all. What can they do?
To be very honest, like QA is like you have a more straightforward approach with QA. It's about the number of questions you solve and the number of chapters you're able to cover. With the VA, I would say it's tougher because students have a difficult time because it's less objective. So QA again, we have also shared this at the beginning of the video, but start with the topics that you're familiar with. Uh, and while you're starting with the topics you're familiar with, pick the topics that have most frequently occurred in the past. Again, the same PDF. We're referring to the same PDF that Bhavesh shared earlier. Uh, and like you need to realize that there are two things, right? There's one which is clearing the cutoff, and the second is maximizing your score. So if you feel like scared of QA, your entire preparation strategy could become you aiming to clear the cutoffs of QA, and at the same time you're trying to maximize your score by VA. So just clearing the cutoff is not enough if you want to get into these colleges. So if you think okay, you can put all of your precious time into just learning QA, it would be the wrong thing to do, because ultimately in the given amount of time, you'll be able to get to a certain extent. But if you put a little bit of efforts to VA as well, you can increase that score. Like we know of people who have scored close to full or full marks in the verbal ability section. Now, we're not saying that you should aim for that, but increasing it will definitely increase your chances of getting into the college. And then your focus on QA can be to clear the cutoffs.
Perfect. How much do board exams matter? We really advise you, and we really tell you to look at the community posts, because as you can see from this graphic, it shows that 3 of the 5 IIMs don't care about your 10th and 12th mark. Indore में you have interviews with 10th and 12th का topics pushed है, and if you can answer it, if you have the knowledge of it, well and good. Rohtak has 40% weightage, Ranchi has 20% weightage. You guys are studying max, you guys are studying LLDI, so you can understand and extrapolate through that. At Ranchi, there are people who have 70% and general also because of a good exam, good interview. Rohtak mein we have seen people with 80s also in general category. Is Nilma University worth it? I hope the entire live where we initially talked about colleges, we told ki mistake number 2 is comparing colleges. Just fill it up, write the exam, apply for it as one of the options, and then when you get selected, that time we can talk about it. Alright. And someone just asked how difficult is it for a non-math student. I would really appreciate it. Go to this video. IPMAT is easy, and have a look at it. IPMAT is an exam where you have hard questions and easy questions. Your job is to pick the easy questions. So if you are good in that, exam is easy. If you only look at the difficult questions, then exam is difficult. So please watch this. Alright. How to easily crack parajumbles and vocabulary filling exercises. So for vocabulary filling exercises, a big mistake is people don't understand the context in which words can be used, and they make mistakes of synonyms. So when we talk about alleviation, and you can say say poverty alleviation or poverty removal. In a way, you're reducing poverty, like meaning to same Nikla, but what is the word that is commonly used with poverty? It is alleviation. So if you read a lot, you become better at it, and you can solve vocabulary filling exercises better by understanding the meaning of the words. Some of the questions are straightforward, you can start eliminating very quickly. And how to easily crack parajumbles? Well, parajumbles in itself is a thing that has low probability of answering. So if you have 4 sentences which you need to shuffle, it's 1 by 24. That is the percentage. It's basically you have around 4% of getting it right if you look at it mathematically. So people look at parajumbles later, and they make the sentence structure based on, say, chronology, or based on different things such as if you look at some of the words, it is a pronoun, or it is referring to something. So you can understand, okay, you can make sentence 2 and 3 come together and make a set like that. So that is also one way of thinking about it. I have not started higher math. How should I start? I hope you can look at the last 30 minutes of the live. We talked about step 1, how to attempt a diagnostic mock, step 2, understanding the topics and learning, step 3, doing revision. So please do go through that. How many questions should I attempt of essay? I'm weak at math. Essay has no negative marks. Attempt everything. Do the ones that you know first. बाद में 0, 1 या कुछ number डाल दो. काम
Fun
खत्म.
fact over here, yeah, like I actually put, I think, 0 or 1 in one of the answers, and I remember specifically getting that question right. And it's also about educated guesses. So wait, I didn't put 0 or 1. I made an educated guess. I wasn't able to come to the final log answer. So I was like, it could be this. Like I'd solved it halfway. So I was like, it could be this, and I put that in and I got it right. Yeah, 0 and 1. There's an interesting story. This is right from IIM Indore's classroom. Our IPM chair was taking a class, and he was like, he shared a series ka thing. It's Java, so uh, he was asking us ki what is this series, and we were thinking. He was like, "तुम लोगों ने IPMAT दिया है, तुम्हें आना चाहिए." And then he goes on to say like he also makes questions, and before he used to put a lot of questions with zeros and ones. He wouldn't think much about it. Then he realized that a lot of students just guess, and then he stopped doing that. So yeah, like of course, if you have not even touched that question, put something in come. There'll be questions that you have been able to do halfway. Try to make an educated guess. Sometimes you'll realize no, it has to be a multiple of 2. It has to be like it has to have 6 in the question. Like this is from Bhavesh's experience where the answer was 6, but he was getting 0.6. And he realized that you don't have decimal in IPMAT, like you don't put decimals in short.
Basically, decimal का option होता है, but in the instruction it really said all the answers are going to be whole numbers only.
Yes,
so I
yes.
took that
So
risk
basically,
and
you're
put
not
6.
supposed to put. Yeah, so he got to 0.6, but you're basically guessing there as well, right? So make these educated guesses; they will help you.
Perfect. I am a little weak in math, so we've covered this. You need to practice a lot and just go back around 30 minutes, and we've shown that you need to solve questions while watching lectures. Don't just look at the lecture. Attempt as much as possible, and you need to learn how to skip questions. We also showed you the features that are available, like the time that you're spending. If it's more than 2-3 minutes, then just skip. Look at it later when you have enough time. Abhi, your objective is to smell all the easy questions and get it right. All right. See tips, getting 115, 115, that is wonderful, but I'm curious to know what sectionals you're giving. So do let us know that.
A lot of the times he asks them the question and they're just like, oh, we're giving AfterBoards ka only.
That is good. If you're getting 115 to 150 in AfterBoards, I think you are one of the best people in English in IPMAT. So, so keep that in mind. 10 minutes more. Alright, how do you know if you should take a drop, and is a drop year really worth it? So 12th board marks, can you do without it? Yes, but a lot of higher education institutes do look at a 12th mark. Like a friend of mine, he got 99.6 percentile in CAT. He did not get a call from any of the blacklists because he had around 70% in 12th. So that is one thing. How are liberal arts courses, and what are the top colleges for those? You did mention.
I'll take this.
Please do.
Yeah, so in terms of liberal arts, like Indore, without saying, but yeah, APU is really good. But you're saying that you are leaning towards engineering, and if you feel like you didn't give your best attempt this year or whatever it is, I would say take a drop. Because if you're really interested in something, the chances of you clearing that exam do increase. And research more colleges, right? So it is one thing that you have the IIT, you have all of these tags, but then a lot of the colleges that you've not maybe heard of, will have a really good program. So do like now we like not yet, but hopefully one day we're not experts in engineering colleges, but I'm pretty sure that if you are leaning towards that field, you should definitely take it up because there's nothing as STEM courses. They definitely give you more potential in terms of ever wanting a career change or even in terms of the number of opportunities available after 12th. Sorry, after college.
Perfect. I've answered these three through text.
Let's go.
And for regarding NPAT Z, as far as I know, if you have math, you should be eligible. So, but do confirm it. And for CUET, you have a website where you have every college and every course what all exams you should write to be eligible for that. You can have a look at that too. Backup options, we spoke about that over here, so please watch the
The
live
very
from scratch.
beginning.
Skills which you should develop while doing BBA MBA for portfolio. We'll be doing something fun once this college admissions get over for people who are in college, so do wait for that. Vocabulary tips. I would really urge you to watch this video where we talk about vocabulary in very good detail and it will blow your mind away at how we look at vocabulary. So please do watch that. I think next time we should control the questions also a little bit. Paljumbus, Upam, expected cutoffs. Understand one thing, if any coaching is coming and telling you the cutoff right now without knowing, seeing the exam, they are lying to you. They just want to get money from you. Look at this. I'm going to open a PDF. Read this. Third page. You might be asking what's a good score. But understand, a good score or a safe score is a myth. Imagine it is 2022. The coaching tells a student, cutoff IPMAT 100 का 280 था, get 310, safe score होगा. Actual exam में 310 is the cutoff, around that. Then in 2023, the coaching tells कि okay, ठीक है, cutoff 310, but get 340 now, it's a safe score. Actual cutoff became 409. So this is a huge problem. And if you only attempt difficult mocks, you might lose the opportunity to practice easy questions and improve your speed also. So understand this अच्छे से and do not rely on it. A good score, the cutoff score is a function of the level of difficulty of the people and the competency of students and how well they perform. So I hope this answers your question. ये भी हो गया answer. Can I clear IPMAT if I have no prep? If you start now, yes. If you do not start and do not do anything, then no. And how to start your prep, we talked about it. Plus, you can also have a look at this video. One more thing which I wanted to shed light on was a lot of people who have already cracked IIM through IPMAT, and when we asked them कि syllabus complete हो गया था, most of them say कि अरे syllabus complete ही नहीं हुआ. So you might have that perception that it's not getting over. Do not worry.
Oh, for that, there's a very good interview on Inside IIM by Sejal, I believe, who is very senior to me, but she's done Indore plus Ahmedabad. And that is a video that I had watched, and that is a video that made me realize how to prepare for my prep. So definitely go watch that. We'll also put the link of the same in our WhatsApp group so that you can refer to it.
I just want to quickly address this. Anonymous asked, does IPMAT Indore give very difficult questions? No. Watch the video where we say IPMAT is easy. This will clear all your doubt. Okay? I filled IPMAT form. Akash. If it is not issued by the competent authority, it will probably not be accepted. It's best to talk to the admissions office and take it from there. Alright, this has courses for bachelors. It's not just social work type. I'm pretty sure they have like for commerce and...
No, they do BCom, BCom or BBA. I'm forgetting exactly right now, but they do. They have commerce specific courses.
Alright. I'm a commerce student. I plan to do IPMAT AfterBoards. I understand. And AfterBoards is a great opportunity for you to do IPMAT, but coming to your actual timeline of after your board exams get over, I would recommend to start right now, maybe even if doing some questions of topics you might be comfortable with, say arithmetic, say averages or time, speed, distance, basic things. Because even if you've not touched math, it is still feasible. You can do enough to crack and clear the cutoff. Like last time also, if you just had a little bit of common sense, you could have gotten 20 marks to the LRDI set only. And the cutoff was around 35 to 40, I guess. So it is feasible.
Also, I need to go in 6 minutes.
Same. So
Yes.
give it your best. If it does not happen, you can look at a partial drop, but do not skip Ranchi or Rohtak to only get into Indore. One quick room house tour, maybe next time. I'm currently at my parents' home. I'm not getting scores in quants. How much syllabus should I cover? Backlog. You can do one shots. You can then look at mocks. If you're still not able to answer, then do a little more of that topic. Maybe fix your basics and whatnot. That will help you out. If your coaching videos are not good conceptually, look at JE content one shot. It is alright. It is good and it will give you concept clarity. नाम exam का नाम JE है, but concept तो same वाला है, especially the basics. Can you explain that?
IPMAT grading system, again, go watch the ATS video.
हाँ.
It's the second video on the
This one says
YouTube.
अच्छे से. 8 minutes में Vani has covered everything. What is the safe school addressed it? How do you edit so good? Thank you so much. I'm editing since I was 9 years old. Are there best colleges for BBA other than IIM Indore? Please look at this.
From the
Yes.
the start 10 minutes covers it.
I'm done with LA, higher mat. Yes, we've also shown what the topics that come for higher mat. YouTube it, learn it, attempt questions on it, attempt practice tests on it. हो जाएगा. Do not worry. Just start solving it. Plan less, execute more. Yes, we do, and we will. What's the BG music in your dog wala ad? I don't know the name, but it's a very good music, right? We'll try to bring some more information about this and hopefully help you with this. मेरा 10th में 87, 12th में around 60. I'm trying my best. Yes, you can crack GPMAT if you have about 60%, not an issue. Now, Ranchi and Rohtak might be hard. Even in Indore, if your interviewer looks at your board marks and maybe makes a perception, you have to work hard to convince them in the interview otherwise. So that is our 2 cents on it. I'm commerce with maths. I'm a little bit good at math. I hope vocabulary ke liye. Sometimes I feel, Vani, ki we should just open the live and put that video on. Trust me, you watch this video, your life will change. Your mentality will change, your perspective change. Your mind, kya bolte wo? You will look at IPMAT ka verbal ability section in a new light. So please do that. Estimated ideal score to crack IPMAT Indore. I hope you explained it on how cutoffs work and how safe scores are. So your objective is not to get a particular number. Your objective is to maximize your number. Difficult mock mein 150 is a great mark. Easy mock mein 150 is a bad mock. So understand that. So on that note, we've covered things. And at the end of the day, be it coaching, no coaching, self-study, a little bit of only mocks, this and that, it's your hard work. And your hard work is going to decide the next 5 years of your life. And the next 60 days can change the trajectory of your life. So please give it your best shot and work hard. And that will hopefully give good results. You can change how your family looks at money also. We've seen really good rags to riches story through IPMAT. I have a friend, he comes from a tribal village. Very nice guy, the sweetest guy you will find. And he started learning web development and whatnot, and he makes very good money. And he makes more money than an internship of an MBA student while being at IPM. So I hope you take this seriously. The next 60 days of austerity, word of the day, will be very, very important. And please like the video if you have not already. We have only 99 likes. I hope we can get it up. And most importantly, guys, understand that you need to give a free mock and you know where to get all of those. Since we have given Gyan for almost an hour and a half or 1 hour. Oh, 2 hours.
2 hours.
थोड़ा self promotion तो बनता ही है. We have practice of every topic. We'll get time, speed, distance soon. And we have unlimited sectional tests. कभी भी चाहिए खोलो और attempt करना शुरू कर दो. And this is something that's tested and it works well. And we are continuously expanding our question library. We have 25 mocks of Indore, 25 of Slotak, 25 of JPMAT, total of 75 different mocks which you can attempt and learn. And with every mock, we give you spotlight. कि question trap में कहाँ फंस गए, were you able to pick easy questions, the negatives कितना हुआ. We'll also try to have live mock analysis, a couple of them soon. And one of the fan favorite features is you can choose different mocks which you attempted. You can choose the sections you want, and if you only want to practice say number system ka question, you can practice only number system ka questions. And if you want to see say only HCF LCM question, you can look at only HCF and LCM questions also. And you can do every permutation combination with it. So that being said, thank you so much, and we'll really appreciate it. And if you have any doubts, even if you go to this form, we have kept the link. We have kept the link of our WhatsApp group. Just join this and you can message us with the doubts and queries that you have. On that note, let's end it. Plakal, yes, it is possible. Messages will send you the cutoffs of our first mock too.
I need to like dip immediately.
Yes,
I have
ta-da.
a meeting.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining. Do join, do like. We appreciate your time. And all the best for your boards. Bye. Ending the stream. 3, 2, 1.